And good morning at 7:04 on this Tuesday, January 31st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. I don't know how terrific this Tuesday is going to be, but so far it's not that bad out there. Here in Lebanon, Tennessee, a little mist falling. It's a little bit disagreeable, but I made it fine. I would suggest if you've got to get out this morning to maybe leave a little early. I did, and it should be a piece of cake, at least for right now, but who knows what holds. We're on the air, of course, for Vanderbilt University Medical Center, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, I guess I should say, to be more correct. And I do want to share this good news with you, remind you once again that Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital is one of the 2022-2023 best hospitals for maternity care, according to U.S. News & World Report. Out of approximately 650 evaluations, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital was one of 297 hospitals to receive the high-performing designation on December 6th. This is the highest award that they give for maternity care. The recognition of maternity care at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital as high-performing by U.S. News & World Report is a true testimony to the efforts of the Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital obstetrics team to provide only the highest quality care to expectant mothers in Lebanon and its surrounding communities, according to Ronald Alvarez and Lonnie Burnett, who are with the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. What a great way to honor Vanderbilt University Medical Center's commitment to regional maternity services. And another reminder this morning, at some point, most everyone has experienced that discomfort in the chest known as heartburn. But the condition is more than a painful annoyance. It can do serious harm. Heartburn, or acid reflux, affects an estimated 15 million Americans daily. For relief, most people turn to over-the-counter medicines and simply try to ignore it, assuming it's no more than a nuisance. However, chronic heartburn that is not properly treated can produce serious consequences for an individual's health. These consequences include tooth decay, ulcers, inflammation, abnormal tightening of the esophagus, and even increase the risk of cancer of the esophagus. If you struggle with chronic heartburn, talk to your provider about ways you can alleviate heartburn symptoms. And for more information, visit VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com. Okay, I am going to go to the telephone, and with me on the telephone, I believe, is Justin Beasley. Justin, good morning. Are you there? Hello, Justin. Are you there?
Hey, Coleman. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. I think you switched lines here, but anyway. We're glad to hear from you, and let me just explain that here on the 5th Tuesday of January, the last day, by the way, January 31st, you're here today because we had a special program last Tuesday, and we asked you to delay your visit 1 week here since we have 5 Tuesdays this month, and we are certainly glad to have you today. I guess we've got last week's council meeting to talk about, among other things. But first of all, the weather's on everybody's mind. How's the weather where you are?
Yeah, I mean, the roads there's nothing really particularly bad about them, but of course, there's a lot of precipitation on them, and the temperatures right now are a little bit above freezing, but, it's expected to be below freezing. So, I normally come and see you, Coleman, because it's always a treat, but just trying to limit my travel today as much as I can, just to be responsible as much as I can in case the weather does get bad. I know a lot of surrounding schools have closed. I know Wilson County's closed, so hopefully all the kids enjoy their day off and learn a lot about Mount Juliet today on your radio program. Thank you for having us. Of course, we'll come on whenever you need us to. We get to come on here twice a month, and it's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you for that. Any big news from last week's meeting? And I think there was some kind of pretty much an issue of controversy there regarding either annexation or zoning change or something. Can you enlighten us on that a little bit?
Yes, sir. There was a packed house full of people at City Hall, and all of our commissioners and city manager applauded everyone because, when there's a lot of people there, there's usually some divide between a topic of sorts, and people made their voices heard on certain topics that we're certainly thankful for. We passed a resolution to support a north to south route for the connector road to be South Green Hill Road. That goes from Lebanon Road to West Division. Now, to give you some context specifically for that project, we had a public session, if you will, in December to talk about the Western Connector. And one of those options, two of those options, included going through the Ligon Farm, which is a century farm in Mount Juliet, huge farm, great family, and they spoke out against it. There's a lot of news coverage surrounding it, and they didn't want the city to build a road through their farm. And, we continued to tell everyone, we have comment cards online. Please do your best to put in your public input so that our commissioners can listen to your voice and make their decision. And, the resolution just means of the three plans we had, we're going forward with the one that doesn't go through the farm. Now, listen, that connector road that's going to be on South Green Hill Road, if that does pass as far as, the project costs and the specifics, which are coming up in the next couple of meetings, there's going to be other people that are impacted. Now, it's not going to be a whole farm with the way the commissioners are going through with this specific resolution, but this is an example of where a lot of people, again, made their voices heard. The commissioners listened and chose the one route that the majority of the people were in favor of, not only the people that weren't impacted, but even the people that were impacted as well. So, again, we had a packed crowd on hand, and that was really the biggest topic. It was at the end of the agenda, and we moved it up just because of how many people were there.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the option that was chosen there? At least it looks like it's going not through the Century Farm, but the other way. There's some people that are impacted there, of course. Are they terribly unhappy?
I haven't heard from them if they are, but again, as I told a lot of people, we're in the opening ceremonies of a 9-inning ball game. So as we get, I think right now, Public Works Director Andy Barlow is meeting with our commissioners before our next meeting, which will be the second Monday of the month on February, just to square down some specifics of what they would like to do with that connector road to South Green Hill Road. Once they, vote on that and get those measurements precise, then we add that to the budget. And you think about the budget year, it ends in June, so it's coming up. It's right around the corner. You'll budget for what the cost will be or what you expect the projected cost will be, and then you start to do the right-of-way acquisition, the design. Again, very early in this 9-inning ball game, it takes time, but if you look at how much time this takes, that's why the city and Andy Barlow and the commissioners are doing a good job meeting. That's their number one goal is infrastructure. So they're meeting on plenty of different projects to get it as shovel ready as possible, because you can't just focus on one and then when that gets done, start on the other. As we know, you got to have a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak.
Okay, well, Justin, just for our listeners who, and quite frankly, I'm not very familiar with the area you're talking about here, just what is this road? How's it really going to help it? Another way of travel, another road for people to go through and connect, I suppose. But can you enlighten us a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to alleviate the traffic on North Mount Juliet Road. So you look at a connector road that's going to go from Lebanon Road, Highway 70 to West Division. It's going to cut through some houses and some neighborhoods. And I think right now the plan is to have it as a 3-lane road, which will be a tremendous help. And there'll be some design changes, I'm sure, as well to make the road a little bit safer. But as opposed to those getting off Lebanon Road, getting on to North Mount Juliet Road to get to the south side of town, now they'll be able to go from Lebanon Road to West Division and avoid North Mount Juliet Road that we see backed up so often in the morning and at night. again, this is just one of many projects to try and alleviate traffic in Mount Juliet, and we certainly think that is going to be a good option. And it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be like the bridge that we brought to Mount Juliet last summer. You're going to see a significant impact on traffic and the percent of cars that are backed up, and also going to free up some people on North Mount Juliet Road, which we're excited about as well. So we feel like it's a win-win for a lot of people. And the Coleman, you got to remember too, not only are the people in Mount Juliet traveling these roads, people from surrounding counties getting to and from work are as well. So it's a decision that we have to make, and we have to make it as soon as possible. And that's why you're seeing so much urgency after the public meeting that we had in December. We've already created a resolution by the end of January. So I would say urgency is very important, but also the attention to detail as well.
All right, Justin Beasley is with us. He's the Mount Juliet Public Information Officer, and with us most of the Tuesdays when we feature Mount Juliet. We're going to pause right here for a break, and more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, high performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on Kubota L-Series tractors, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. As traffic volume increases, I-40 westbound at Fessler's, all that traffic coming past the airport there through Hermitage, Donaldson. It's on the increase as well through Mount Juliet, especially westbound on I-40 headed towards Nashville. Just give yourself plenty of extra time. I hear some radar, believe it or not, on 24 through Rutherford County. Snapdragon Hemp, serving up lab-tested top-shelf hemp products across Tennessee. They've got edibles, flowers, concentrates. You can order online at snapdragon420.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health Hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
Coleman and Company, our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and Justin Beasley is with us, the Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet. We've talked about your commission meeting a week ago, and one item on there really where there was a lot of concern, a lot of people came to express themselves. Anything else from that meeting you want to tell us this morning before we go to something else?
Yeah, we had a workshop a couple of weeks ago in Jennifer Mullaley's district that discussed an amendment for Providence Central. To add some context, everybody knows Providence Central is the development upcoming in Mount Juliet that's in Providence that will host BJ's, the wholesale store, also host Rooms to Go. That's really our next big business corridor that we're excited about. Well, there's been an amendment right now to add apartments above the retail. And these are higher end apartments, people almost the Nashville feel where you live above commerce and you can just walk down and eat your food, eat your lunch, go shop and not even have to get into your car, which it seems to be the way to go. It was a pretty divided topic as well, I'll be honest, and a lot of back and forth on it. I believe we spent an hour and a half, Coleman, on this topic. We met last Monday, I think it was until about 11:30. So we had a lot of topics again to go over, and this one was right there as big as the one, as we mentioned, the connector on the other half of the break. But it passed 3-2, at least on a first reading, and it's the apartment complex. Can you add apartments when there's so much traffic in Providence? That there's an argument there, and there's also an argument to be said for, as we mentioned with the mayor on a couple of weeks ago, we offer the state $25 million to build Central Pike interchange, and that's about half the money that it would cost altogether. Not many municipalities are doing that. In fact, I don't know any that are doing that. So when you offer something like that and you want the state to copy it and to match it, you've got to have something there that's going to be worthwhile. And we certainly feel Providence Central will be worthwhile. And just to be honest, that this ordinance, if it winds up not passing, Providence Central is still coming without the apartments. But right now it passed on first reading 3-2 to allow for apartments. And it's just an amendment that was brought before, and it's got some legs, and we'll see how it's voted on the second time.
All right.
Second week in February.
Do you remember the 2 negative votes? And I just wondered where their position is, why they chose to vote against this.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Ray Justice and Commissioner Scott Hefner voted no. The 3 yeses were from Jennifer Mullally, Mayor James Manis, and Bill Trevette. Right now, the 2 negatives are Ray Justice is. I believe his thought on this is, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying no right now. So he's not completely against the project. And then Scott Hefner is big among those looking for Class A office space, which, as we know, there's been a study done, a Boyd study that has said Mount Juliet is the #1 destination for Class A office space as far as people looking to relocate and move their business. And we know that looks different now after COVID as far as how much space people are looking for and what they need. So Scott, looking after the businesses, wanting more Class A office space. The developer, Mike Murphy, along with some of the commissioners, are in favor of the apartments. So we'll see which one wins, and that's why we have 5 votes and bring it to the table like we did.
Well, this is quite interesting to say the least, and really the future of Mount Juliet is kind of weighing in the balance here as to what you do. I would think it kind of at least is an indication of the direction you might be heading.
Yeah, it's a topic that has got a lot of opinions on it for sure, and there's just so many things surrounding it as far as the infrastructure, as far as the increased population, but also you got to look at it too, and not apartments also bring people that are able to occupy the jobs in Mount Juliet. As we know, there's not as big of a work shortage in Mount Juliet as there is nationwide, but you need more people to add to your workforce. So again, I see both sides of the argument, and as I believe somebody mentioned in the commissioner comments coming up, they said that's why y'all are sitting on the hot seats, and all the commissioners kind of reference that they are on the hot seat. They have huge decisions to make for the future of our city, and they know that, and that's why we know they'll do their due diligence to vote as much as they can with what they think is best for the city in this current day.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit here. You were talking about revenue earlier, and $25 million that the city is willing to come up with and to help get this interchange going. It'll be a new budget year come July 1, and how is, I guess, now that it's January, actually it's almost February, you start thinking about the next fiscal year budget. What are you hearing there? And is the sales tax revenue one of the big things, of course, you've got, and some property tax, but everybody's always wondering, is there going to be a tax increase? You hearing anything about the budget or additional revenue at this time?
Not hearing too much about the budget. We do get a weekly report every week from our finance director, and I can tell you that our sales tax revenue is well above what we have expected, and that's not even including the rest of the year that we have to continue to add to this as we're adding businesses, and many people are starting to spend some money after the Christmas time once again. We're sitting in a good spot. Again, we've been very frugal as a city. over the several past years and set up for a position where, you know, the rest of the nation has been hurting financially, which, you know, that's just kind of the world we live in right now. But Mount Juliet's in a great spot, I can tell you that. I know with gas prices that we've added, you know, budget lines as far as gas is concerned. But right now, all is good. I have not heard anything about a tax increase, and I know that people would not like that, and I haven't heard any commissioner mention that. So that is great news. And I think those meetings are being scheduled right now with department heads, because June will be here before you know it, and I think they start working on the budget in late February, early March. So really, you're working on the budget all year round. You gotta spend the money that's been allocated to make sure you get the necessary needs for your department. You also got to make sure you have enough for the next year and kind of forecast and project what each department head needs.
Yeah, one of the things that this is kind of my more or less casual observation, I guess, but it does seem like Mount Juliet has been spending more money. I mean, you built a new fire station, you've taken on more service as far as that goes. You've added personnel. You've been spending quite a bit. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you're not being frugal, but it just seems like the cost of the cost for the city has increased quite a bit in the last 2 or 3 years. Is that right?
Yeah, that's more than fair, Coleman. You're a smart man. You see all the new things we're building. I'll say this: a lot of the buildings we've had in previous years. You look at a fire department. You look at City Hall, for example. You look at police buildings. Those are all buildings that existed before. You know, the police building was owned by Joy Church, if I'm not mistaken. The City Hall was a bank before we took it over in 1995. You know, the new fire hall, the 2 new ones, you know, those are new structures. But I would say it's the cost of doing business. We've been frugal, and we're bursting at the seams in a good way. We've got a lot of people that we're adding to our workforce, and eventually, you know, you have to add that infrastructure not only for the aesthetics of the city to make you look good and to represent your city well, but also to house more people. So I will say this: Kenny Martin has done a great job of managing the budget to make sure that we aren't spending money until we absolutely have to. And when we do, it's well worth it, and it's buildings that are going to last a long time. We've mentioned a couple of times the new police building, which we met again with the public work session not too long ago, actually last Monday, as far as what that design and concept and the budget is going to look like. So hopefully we're hitting the ground running on that very soon. We've talked a couple of months ago about a new city hall as well. Haven't heard much on that recently, but I mean, you look at it, we've got a lot of people working for the city now. So I would imagine some departments might go here or there before anything of that nature actually materializes. But I mean, we're at I would say, and I've said it often here, Coleman, that the best years are ahead of Mount Juliet, and we're certainly excited for that and our growth and expansion with our citywide offices to cater to everyone's needs as far as our residents are concerned.
Well, you know, I can remember when you didn't have a public information officer.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad we have one. Let's keep that in the budget.
Oh, gotta dig at you just a little bit here, Justin. We've got a couple of minutes left. Anything else you think of you'd like to tell everybody this morning?
You know, our mayor has his State of the Union address coming up with our Chamber of Commerce, and as I look at the calendar, I believe that is going to be February 15th at 11:15 at Rutland Place. And if you're not able to watch that in Mount Juliet, our plan is to live stream that on our Facebook pages and also our YouTube, and you can go back and watch it if you're not you don't have a lunch break during that time. But a lot of great things you'll learn from the mayor as far as some of the topics we've discussed here, as far as the Central Pike interchange, widening roads, budget, where we're going, where we've been, what the present looks like. And I mean, you had him on a couple of weeks ago. Our mayor is a great man of great integrity, great leader that we're certainly lucky to have. And I'm excited to listen to him speak. He's he's a lot more wittier and funny than you would imagine if you just watched him on the commission meetings. He's got a great personality as well. He's kind of like you, Coleman.
Well, thank you. I guess that's a compliment. I want to thank you for being with us again. You'll have a meeting on the second Monday in February, and you'll be here on that second Tuesday to tell us about it, right?
Yes, sir. I'll see you on the 14th, and we'll have that commission meeting on the 13th. And the 27th of February. So we'll be back on schedule, Coleman.
All right. And Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it. And a reminder that our program is presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. So stay with us for more here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And at 7:29, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Regular oil change $34.95, up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We've watched traffic volume increase quite a bit, actually, coming up through Williamson County on 65 northbound out of Franklin through Brentwood. It's increasing with that traffic. Also on 24 around the Jolton exit. That's still looking pretty good, though. However, as you come inbound out of Montgomery County, Clarksville, headed towards Nashville, please give yourself extra time out here this morning. Snapdragon Hemp, serving up lab-tested top-shelf hemp products across Tennessee. You can find out more details and order online at snapdragon420.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Hello, Phoenix baseball fans. This is senior outfielder Sancho Farmer from Bardstown, Kentucky, inviting you to follow the Phoenix on the air and online this season. You can hear all of our games on either WANT FM 98.9 or WCOR AM 1490 or online at WANTFM.com or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Our first games are Friday, February 3rd at 2:30 and Saturday, February 4th at 11 a.m. We hope to see you soon. Go Phoenix.
Rain chances are back for today, and we could see periods of freezing rain before it's all over. Temperatures will be stuck in the 30s all day, keeping us just above the freezing mark. Now, that chance for freezing rain could form overnight into Wednesday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Number One Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2 here on a Tuesday morning. We welcome Sean Dozier. We always welcome Sean Dozier to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It was not a lot of traffic this morning getting here, so that was nice.
That was no school, and
I got here.
Everybody staying home if they can, I suppose.
I got here very easily this morning, but it's great to be here. It's good to see you. Missed you last week. Judge Tatum was here and did a good job, but I did miss you.
Well, thank you. Found out a lot about Cumberland baseball.
We did. That was a good hour.
Well, Sean, of course, is the executive director of Hearthside Senior Living. It's been here since 1994. The assisted living community has. Retirement community came along a little bit later, but all located at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. And Sean comes here each Tuesday to tell us the latest.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I told you we had a large room available, and I told you that we would have that room sold by the time I got through with putting it out there on the radio and calling a couple of people, and we've got it sold. So we've got 0 openings right now. We've got a small waiting list that we started for the assisted living. It's good to be back to that little waiting list that we've had for many, many years. And we made a couple of calls, and we sold that large room, and now all of our rooms are reserved. All of our rooms are taken. And again, that shows the great service that we provided Hearthside, and it shows that I think everything's back to normal now.
Well, it also it speaks well for you and your team there too, that somebody wants to come that quickly and get located there.
Sometimes we call folks and they're not ready, and that's fine. We just keep them on the list and move on down. But a lot of people are ready now. This time of year, they they're at home, they see more going on with their relatives, and they notice more things. And so oftentimes winter is a time where people make the move and are ready to make the move. And summertime, people are busy doing things, and wintertime, you notice a little bit more going on. So we make those calls, and if they're ready, they're ready. If they're not, they're not. Just like our independent living, we're sold out. Our 30 homes are sold out, and if we have an opening, we call them, and if they're not ready, they're not ready. We move on down to the next person.
That's a reason, though, to be on the waiting list for either place.
It really is. I always tell people, you need to kind of explore, what your options are before you need it, just in case. Because many times you have to make those decisions very, very quickly. You go to the hospital for a fall, you go to the hospital for whatever reason, and then they send you to rehab, and then by the time you're through with rehab, they say, hey, we recommend assisted living, or we recommend home health, or we recommend you go home with home health. So it's good to know your home health options. It's good to know your assisted living options. It's good to know your skilled nursing options. When you're in the hospital and the caseworker comes to you and says, hey, which skilled nursing facility would you like to go to? It's good to say, hey, my first choice is this choice if they have any availability. So, if you're in that age group, if you're in that season, know your options out there. There are a lot of options. Don't ever think that, hey, I'm stuck with one option. You're not. There are a lot of options out there for you. And if you don't like one option, you can always choose another.
Well, it's good to know that Hearthside is a nonprofit assisted living provider, that it's locally owned and managed, that it's also been voted best in Wilson County.
You took the words right out of our board. We had a meeting on Friday, and they wanted me to continue to stress that we are nonprofit, that we are locally owned, and that we are a Christian organization, and that really does set us apart. We haven't been bought out by a corporation. We haven't been bought out by a conglomerate. We haven't been, we haven't changed our name. We haven't done anything like that, and we offer great services for a great price, and we are able to keep our prices lower because we're not trying to meet somebody's demand to nickel and dime
stockholders
and dime people. Stockholders or
like to
somebody
know
up in New York or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we keep our prices reasonable. We gotta pay the bills, but I think you'd be very pleased with our large rooms, our small rooms, our medium room prices, because you get we don't nickel and dime you. That price is what is everything included in that one price. So when people get that price, they're very pleased with what they get.
Are you ready for Hearthside Hello?
Well, I want to say hello to Ken and Dot Allison. Ken and Dot Allison, they, for many, many years, they came by Hearthside and picked up one of our residents and took them out to eat, or took them to church, or, took them to the store. And I ran into them with their son maybe about a week ago, Monday, and they said they heard us on here. So I wanted to say hello to Ken and Dot Allison.
Nice people.
Great people.
I think I've known them both since high school.
I think you have.
All right. Well, when we get to this is what the big suspense is.
Well, yeah.
Who's going to be the Hearthside Hello?
And I'm out. Thank you very much.
That's got to take care of it. All right. Have a good one.
You
Be
too,
safe.
Coleman.
We'll see you next Tuesday. That's Sean Dozier. Again, he's Executive Director for Hearthside Senior Living, 215 Castlights Avenue North. That phone number is 615-443-1994. We're 23 minutes before 8 o'clock, and this morning it is my pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Uncle Pete.
Good morning, Wilson County and the surrounding areas. This portion of your program today is being brought to you live and in Technicolor by the veterans of Wilson County. Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning. I know you've got some good news for us. some more good news, I guess we'd
Absolutely.
say. But before you get to that, let me thank you for this big cup of coffee.
Oh, I knew if I didn't bring coffee, I just didn't need to stop.
From Uncle Pete's truck stop.
Absolutely.
Some of the best coffee, maybe the best on the interstate.
It is the best on the interstate.
All right, that's what your sign says.
Yeah, yes.
Well, it's good coffee. It is.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's your father doing? I still haven't met that gentleman.
I need to bring him. Well, it's too early for him. He's not. He doesn't get up now until 8 o'clock. But he's 96.
Wow.
Still lives at home with him and his cat. He is independent living.
Yeah.
He is independent living.
What I like best about him is he's a Vanderbilt fan.
He is definitely Vandy. He is definitely Vandy.
And I haven't even met him. But one of these days I hope to.
Yeah.
But he does frequent your truck stop.
He does a little, not as much anymore.
Yeah.
Cold weather, he doesn't like to get out much.
Yeah.
He was going to all of the veteran meetings up until it started getting cold.
Yeah.
soon as it warms up, he'll be back.
Well, I don't know how much we have told our audience, and I know that it's been in the news what the city of Lebanon has done, I think led by Mayor Rick Bell, and something that has just totally got you excited, even
yes.
more than you've maybe ever been
Yes,
about
yes.
this. And you tell the whole story this morning, it'll be fine with me. I think most people are somewhat aware that the old fire station at Hartman Drive and Badua Parkway has the city has made it available for veterans, and so I don't know that all the T's have been crossed and the I's dotted, but you're well on your way to getting that, and got plans to renovate the building and have a place you can call your own for the veterans.
Yes, we've got to bring it up to handicap codes. We have to install a ladies' bathroom. That particular fire hall was built when there were only men fire hall. And so we got to put a ladies' bathroom in there. We're dividing some things and opening up some spaces and stuff. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for people who would like to do something for veterans to donate to the cause. There's a possibility of doing some naming rights to rooms. Got somebody that's actually said something about putting his father's name on the bathroom, calling it that name head.
Yeah.
And I said, why not? But we're going to need the community's help. It will be referred to as the Lebanon Veteran Center. And there is going to be a lot of activity going on in there. We anticipate we're working on deals with the state of Tennessee, with the VA, to have psychiatric services available that would be there on certain days, counseling services that would be there on certain days, employment services that would be there. We're going to have a room with some computers in it so vets can come and go online to file an application or whatever. There'll be other just get away from everything and everybody. I've always referred to a group that we will start there. The name of it will be Been There, Done That, Do You Need to Sit and Talk? And that's an older vet with a younger vet to let them know that, it's not just happening to them.
Do you have another place that you have seen that maybe you want to make this a lot like, or is this totally coming kind of out of the air, just your ideas, or you got something that you've seen that has reminded you of what we need here?
I've seen some other vet centers. They're primarily either American Legion or the VFW. I don't want that. Excuse me. I've seen one in particular in Sonoma, California, that is a multi-vet center, and it was the old National Guard Armory in Sonoma. Dates back to the 1600s when the Spaniards marched north from Mexico. And there's a trail up through there, and there's a sabanian tree that they planted every so many leagues. And this is the last one. In their cemetery on their property is Spaniards. There's also some World War I guys buried there that were people without families, and they were buried there. So it has a lot of history, and they have done really well with it. We're anything like the size they are. They're large enough that they can have gun shows and boat shows and all kinds. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're for the vet that's got problems and needs to come and talk to somebody or needs help, someplace to go for that, someplace we can have smaller meetings, so we can have group therapy meetings and stuff like that. There's still one suicide every 4 hours in the United States of a young vet, and of older vets. Older vets now, my age, are just saying, I'm done. I'm tired of being tired. That's what a guy told me one day. He said, I'm just tired of being tired. And he and I talked for about 3 hours. And you know, when you've got nobody and no place to go, you know, sometimes the alternative is, I'll just end all this.
Well, is this one of your bigger motivations?
Yes. I've lost friends to suicide.
Yeah.
And I've lost some young guys that I knew he committed suicide up in Carthage. And, you know, there's no need for this. You know, there's people out there that will help you. There is services out there that will help you. We can help you get into a home. We can help you get into counseling. We can help you get into the hospital. We can help you, and that's what we're going to do. And I always say we. It's not me. It's us.
Yeah.
It's all of us. And we need to take a break, don't we?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a lot of follow-ups coming to mind, but when MJ puts those headphones on, it's getting close to time, and it is. So let's take our break. Uncle Pete, Haywood P. Norman IV is here, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:44, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on Kubota L-Series tractors, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. 1506 West Main, Absolute Kubota. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase quite a bit out here on 24 coming out of Rutherford County up through the Hickory Hollow area. Pretty much typical, actually. Traffic a little bit lighter than normal. With this weather in the area, please give yourself extra travel time as it also starts to increase through the Dixon County area on I-40, especially out there around 840. Hey, Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. They're online right now at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Haywood P. Norman IV, known as Uncle Pete, from Uncle Pete's Super Truck Stop, is with us this morning. But the last few times, for quite a while, really, when you've been coming, we've talked about something that's been on. Well, you're a veteran. You were in combat, Southeast Asia, and all this we've talked about a lot of times. Have a feeling, a heart for veterans and the problems that they endure when they come back home. You've been there and done that yourself. And,
yes, sir. Been there, done that.
And the suicide thing, I guess, is an even bigger motivating factor for you to get involved.
Yes. My younger brother committed suicide, and it is eat at me all my life. He did it over a girl and did it in the presence of my sister. And it's something that you can never get out of your mind.
Yeah.
And he was a vet, and it was just an instantaneous, I'm done with this. And this does not need to happen to any family. To any family. I was fortunate that when I got out, the VA was there and had programs and things, and I went to them. My Vietnam helicopter group had programs, and that was when online stuff was just starting to happen, and I participated in them. And you know, we've had some suicides of veterans and non-veterans right here in this county, right here in this region.
Yeah.
And
some of them you probably knew pretty well.
Yes. One of the older vets committed suicide. And you know, you think, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I catch this? Well, if you don't see them but every month, or you don't see them very often, or they don't show up to your meeting, there's a new program that the veteran programs are doing called Buddy Check. If they don't show up to a meeting, call them.
Yeah.
What's going on? If you hadn't heard from them, call them. If they hadn't come out to the truck stop and ate breakfast with us, call them.
All right, let's talk about your plans here, because you told me during the break you're hoping sometime this spring to
Yes, sir.
to have this.
Yes,
and
sir.
you've got quite a bit of renovating to do, sprucing up, getting it all ready for
Yes,
Of course,
yes, sir.
you may be able to open before you get it totally complete.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know what your plans are there, but you probably need a lot of help in a lot of different ways, and a lot of people can contribute if they so
Oh, absolutely.
choose to.
You know, there's a lot of businesses out there that can help us. There's a lot of individuals out there that can help us. You know, and you can help us in your father's name, or your grandfather's name, or your son's name, or just in because you love people, and we're going to need it.
All right, let's kind of start at the beginning here. The renovation, the major stuff that's got to be done before you can open the doors. I guess that's where you are.
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much right now.
We've got to finish the bathrooms. We got to take one wall out, do some work there. We're going to do some inside painting of lighter colors and spruce things up. We've got to hang things on the wall, do that type of thing.
All right, who's going to do that? You've got a group, or are you going to have to hire it done, or?
I'm hoping we'll have volunteers that will help do that. We've got the young veterans that are Marines and Air Force and Army and all. They all have to have civil hours. All your seniors, graduating seniors that are going to go to college in Tennessee, have to have hours of community service. So hey, we're right here. So we're going to be looking at these type of things to help
And that's
us.
something you don't have to pay money for.
Right. That's
people donate their time for one reason or the other.
right. There's a lot of Boy Scouts out there that are working on their Eagle, and they need hours. You know, we're going to need some flagpoles.
All right, who's going to be? Is that going to be kind of your main thing here to coordinate that?
Well, we have formed a group. We are in the process right now of getting our 501c3, and once we do that, we'll have it will be 2-year board terms, period. After that, we'll change the board. We're going to design it in such a manner so that only half of the board changes it at any time. So odd and even years.
How many you anticipate to be on your board?
5 right now.
Okay.
3 vets and 2 from outside. We've already got some people who volunteered to be on the board. So the first.
Do you think 5 is enough?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
But maybe. I don't know. I'm wondering.
I'm needing some more outside on the board to help us with things. So you know, it'll be 5 or 7. It'll have to be. It always need to be an odd number.
Yeah.
And so you know, I'm not opposed to that, to the size of the board. I just want to get the board going and get things going. In saying that, there's a lot of people out there that said, well, what can I do to help? Well, if you can't paint, cut, stencil, you can open your pocketbook. And we're going to need that in the beginning.
Yeah.
And later on, we're going to actually, I have looked at doing a marathon on Armed Forces Day. Nobody does one. And if
Is that always in May?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Always on a Saturday. Always. So that's perfect. And I don't know why no one's not done one. And I hope nobody else catches on to the idea for a few years till we get one going. Yeah. But we're going to challenge Fort Knox, Fort Campbell, the Tennessee Air National Guard, the Army Guard here in town, the Navy base in Memphis, and Arnold Air Force Base down south. So we're going to challenge all of them, and we're going to build a trophy that will be a traveling trophy. They'll get to take it home and brag about it for a year and then try to get it back the next year.
All right, what do they do to get that trophy?
They got to be the winners
Of what?
in the marathon.
Oh, okay, got it. Marathon. All right.
It's going to be a marathon.
Yes, okay.
I've got a really good friend who started a marathon in honor of his wife, and that marathon is just helping so many people. And I thought I'd steal a little of his thunder, but now he is such a great guy that he's not. I'm not stealing anything. He's helping me,
Yeah.
and we will be able to be self-sufficient, and we will be able to do things for veterans. And we've got some things that I'm not going to talk about this morning that we will do on a yearly basis if our marathon gets up there like his has, and we will give back to this community and back to our veterans 100%.
I'm wondering, you have been so excited about this every time we've talked about it, either here on the air or when I've talked with you privately. I just wondered, is there as much enthusiasm among at least a portion of the veterans as you exude all the time?
There is, and it's growing.
Yeah.
You know, for so long, I've just preached this.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's coming forth, and I think the more it happens, the more enthusiasm will be among our veterans, and the more help will pop up, and the more people will participate. I'm, with all my heart, hoping this will bring the young guys in.
Yeah.
They need this more than I do, because I've only got another 20 or 30 years of this. You know, we need these guys, and the government is starting to realize that what they went through in Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran is killing these guys.
Yeah.
It's killing them. And they need this, because with this, it gives them a positive outlook. It gives them somebody to be their cheerleaders. You know, I've got a vehicle that we use to ferry people back and forth. I'm going to put that in the name of the group. I'm going to give them that vehicle so we can take people, because there's some people that need a ride to the hospital, need a ride to a doctor's appointment, need a ride to go get groceries.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can pay for it, but if we've got it and got people available, and I've got people that would love to do it, we carry people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to do that.
All right. Hopefully, we've got some people listening here who are, if nothing else, they're ready maybe to open their pocketbook a little bit, or to volunteer for something that can help you here. What's the best way for them to is it your cell phone?
My cell phone number.
So
you can always get me 615-804-4404.
And that's just a place to start. Will
Yeah.
you have a website in time?
We will have a website. We don't yet, but we've got somebody that's going to build us a website, and it will also have one of those Q codes, and we're going to have some posters out, and they'll have the Q code, so you'll be able to do that and pop right up and see what we're doing, see where it's at. We're going to post pictures of the place, and as we're building it, we will put pictures online. You know, I'm gonna tug at every heartstring I can tug at.
All right. As far as the city goes, I suppose they've done pretty much all
they have gone above and beyond. Yeah. I mean, I cannot say enough about what the city has done for us. You know, we've looked at a couple of other properties back a long time ago, and they didn't work out for one reason or another. This has worked out.
So they pretty much said, here it is, it's your baby, you rock it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But that's a great gesture.
Yes.
And I think I'm hearing that the mayor heard us and got his thinking cap on and thought of this building there.
The Coleman show did this.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
No. If he hadn't heard me on the Coleman show, he would never have known about it.
Yeah.
So
we're glad
the Coleman show started it.
But if you
I'll expect a little check from you.
Well, it'll have to be a little.
Don't have a heart attack now.
But if you can get this going and especially attract the younger people, which is what you've been after, that's kind of been your theme, really. Every time you come out here, part of that has been to get the younger people to be a part of the veterans activities.
Yes.
And hopefully this is going to do it. But it's going to be recreation, but it's going to be a lot more.
Yes, we've already got some donations. Mr. Ash gave us a pool table back when he was still mayor and stuff. So we've got some things sitting in storage, and and if you want to contribute starting today, you can go by the truck stop and leave a check with the girl at the front desk, which is my wife, and she'll put it in the little box. We've got a donation box up there already started, and we've got we got truck drivers dropping money.
You don't leave a stone unturned, do you?
No, absolutely not.
Pete, we're out of time. It's good to see you today.
Thank you for having me here, and I look forward to being here next month and bringing you up to date on everything.
We'll do our best. That's Haywood Pete Norman IV, known as Uncle Pete, and that's it for a Tuesday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.